Hello, everyone, and welcome to VMblog's coverage of the VMware Explore 2023 event that's taking place in Las Vegas at the Venetian. And today we're joined by Joel Stocker, the Director of Product Marketing at ControlUp. Joel, it's great to speak with you today.
Thank you, David. I'm excited to be part of this.
Let's kick things off, if we could, just maybe if you give a quick background, an overview of ControlUp for viewers.
Yeah, absolutely. So ControlUp, we've been around for approximately 15 years, and originally we started in the VDI and DAS, or at that time, I guess we weren't talking about DAS yet, so it was mostly virtual apps and desktops monitoring space, with a real strong focus on helping customers to fix end user experience issues. So really, focused at not just collecting the data and presenting the data, but really giving them a set of tools to resolve problems, to find problems, to remediate problems, basically to get their end user back to work and being productive. And since our start 15 years ago, we've added many additional capabilities, and now, if we talk about ControlUp, we refer to us as a DEX vendor, digital employee experience, which really goes all the way from VDI to the physical endpoint to all kinds of applications, no matter if it's local, unified communications apps, SaaS applications, and basically true to our origins, it is still focused on helping customers resolve issues faster and creating happy users, if you will.
Great. Well, could you maybe tell us a little bit about the partnership between you and VMware and how you fit into the ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. So our partnership with VMware goes back a few years. It started obviously with us supporting and integrating with their various technologies, most primarily on the VDI side, VMware Horizon. But we do bring data in from different aspects of your VMware environment. So we do bring in data from the hypervisors and other elements. But again, focused on where the end user kind of like touches the technology, which in our case is very focused on VMware Horizon. That partnership changed a few years ago, where we actually started collaborating more closely, and we are a TAP partner, Technology Alliance partner, but our technologies are actually also available through VMware. So if an existing VMware customer who wants to go through VMware, they can get our technology that way as well. So they can come to us, and we still partner together with VMware, or if they want to deal directly with VMware, that's a possibility as well.
Now, we're here today, obviously, talking about VMware Explore, the show, the event. Maybe if you could describe some of the type of problems that ControlUp is solving specifically for VMware users. I know you mentioned Horizon, and maybe explain a bit why show attendees are going to want to come visit your booth at the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So to kind of like jump back on the Horizon part, obviously, it's one of these technology areas where, just because of the nature of the beast, if you will, where every little thing, and it doesn't matter if that is storage on the back end, or it's on your network, or it's on your client device. It could even be like, the way I'm working here from home on my local Wi-Fi. Every little thing immediately impacts the end user experience. And because of the complexity with all these elements, storage, servers, hosts, VMs, all these kind of things, it is very important to immediately kind of like bubble up and give customers an easy way to quickly pinpoint. Which you actually see behind me here. You see the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other. You might be familiar with that meme. That's what often happens in technology, right? A user comes at it's slow. Something is slow, very generic, right? And everybody's going to kind of look at each other. Well, no, it's the storage, it's the hypervisor, it's the network, right? And we really try to help with that element to kind of like quickly say, okay, the issue is here, and this is how you solve it. And important with there's another important aspect that is to kind of like get these overall insights. So if you look at what our customers dealing with today is, yes, there is these kind of like day-to-day help desk kind of like challenges, but from a higher level, they also want to get better understanding in how to right size their environment. So our historical data helps with really giving a good understanding of the trending in your environment. Even if customers want to migrate some of their workloads, for example, into the Azure cloud, we have tools for that. We are working on some new technologies, which you can go and see on the show around giving insights in cost savings and ROI. So it's not just the kind of like day-to-day technical stuff. We also try to help our customers with giving these broader insights that they can make better decisions for their environment in the future.
Now, could you share with us kind of a rundown of your company's technology offerings and maybe go a little bit deeper into the technology behind it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to start with our VDI and DAS offering because that is kind of like, has the richest history and has the richest feature set, if you will. So our real-time DX technology, as it's called, basically brings in data both from an agent running in the user session, so on your workloads, as well as agentless through the API. So we connect to, like I said before, the hypervisor, to the vSAN, we connect to, if you have other technologies from other vendors, you could have maybe certain services like in running in Azure. We can connect to that too. So we bring all that data together, and then obviously, and with a lot of data, it's all about how you present that data. And what we will see in a little bit is that we really try to kind of like bubble up kind of like the clear areas where there might be concerns. Now, this could be reactive, right? You could say like user calls, I have an issue, you go to the user, you find them, and you kind of look at their specific environment. Or you could even, be proactive about it and see, hey, where are the main areas of challenges? Are we seeing some areas in my infrastructure where there's issues that you can quickly drill down into there? And then to resolve it, there's built-in actions, but we also have a very rich script library with about 350 scripts that you can use out of the box to remediate problems. Some of them are very specific to maybe the hypervisor, maybe to Horizon. Some of them could be more Windows focused, like analyzing the logon duration. But these things come out of the box. So there's not a kind of like a very large or very long runway to kind of get value out of the technology. So that is our VDI monitoring. Now, one thing that we've added a couple of years ago is technology to also bring in some data from the client side. So this especially when the big shift happened to remote work during COVID. We saw a lot of people that it was kind of like the finger pointing again, right? Like, okay, we can look at our end in our infrastructure, and I don't really see any issues, right? Everything is kind of looking green. Now, what are you going to tell the user? It's your problem. You might want to say that, but you might want to give them a little bit more information about it. Hey, maybe your Wi-Fi router or your latency for your ISP. So we even bring in some data from the client device if they're connected to a Horizon session. Then on top of that, we do what we refer to as availability testing or availability monitoring. So we have a synthetic testing solution that goes across web applications, SaaS applications, some parts of your infrastructure, but even the actual Horizon environment. So we can do synthetic tests on a regular interval that test the availability and the performance of your resources. And this is really all about being proactive, right? Before the user calls you with a problem, right, you might already know, or you're supposed to know, that there might be an issue with your infrastructure so that you can address it before it becomes a real problem. More recently, and recently is about 2.5, 3 years, we started also looking after the physical endpoint. So no matter if that's a Windows, Mac, a Linux device, or a thin client device, in the case of VDI, We monitor the physical endpoint as well. Again, we bring in data. We will be able to do remediation, all these same things we can do, no matter if it's a virtual desktop or a physical desktop. And finally, one thing that we've had a lot of requests for, and that's why we build it, is around unified communication. So we have a lot of our customers, they run either Microsoft Teams or Zoom to do their online collaboration. And again, what we do there is we bring data from the Zoom or Microsoft Teams API into the product. We combine that with real-time information from our agent that is running on the device, running the app like we're doing here. And we kind of combine that again to bubble up any issues that might require attention or that need to be solved. So that's kind of like the level of depth that you were looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, with that said, that was a great deeper dive into the technology from ControlUp. At the show, there are going to be a large number of vendors out on the show floor trying to vie for attention and eyeballs from people. What would you say are some of your unique characteristics or differentiation with the ControlUp product that a VMware user or someone at the trade show should know about?
Yeah, so first of all, I mean, I think our products and the accessibility of our products definitely is a differentiator. So not only getting started, you can go to our website, start a trial. You don't have to tell us who you are. You can basically get started right away. It's not that you first need to talk to us. You can get going with a trial fairly easily. And obviously, you know, the moment that you need help or you want to kind of like learn more, we're of course there to assist you with either doing a POC or doing a demo. You know, we have a very, very vibrant community as well. Last year in, I believe it was November, we started an official online community, and we currently have, I think, about 1,500 people participating on a daily basis, helping each other. And obviously, a lot of ControlUp people are involved in that to make sure that people just get a great experience with our technologies. And, you know, I'm kind of like a VDI veteran, if you will. I worked almost 19 years at the other VDI company, if you will. And, you know, so I've always been very close to the community, and the kind of vibe that you get when you use ControlUp products and kind of like interacting with ControlUp when I joined ControlUp was just, you know, very familiar as it was before in my early days in my career, and you know, I think that helps. And then, you know, we have some cool things going on at the show where, you know, there's the usual swag and stuff like that, and the daily raffles and things like that. But one other thing, we're also announcing some things, and unfortunately, I can't tell you too much about it, but we are going to give away to any new customers some free technologies. So to even make it even easier to kind of like get to work and basically, you know, provide a better service to your end users without any cost. So there's some interesting things going on there, and, you know, to get the details, come to our booth.
Well, that was great. And then I guess one of the other things is we're expecting to hear all kinds of stuff on the keynote stage coming out of, you know, from VMware itself. But thinking about ControlUp and the things that they're interested in, what kind of trends are you seeing that excites you about what's coming, you know, between now and into 2024?
Yeah, and you know, there's a whole lot of things, right? And obviously, we need to, you know, VMware already gave us a little bit of an idea on what the themes are, but from a ControlUp point of view, I see, you know, more and more vendors, including VMware, having a focus on these concepts like DEX, right? Digital Employee Experience. And, you know, I know that there's some technologies that just will be out of the box for a lot of these vendors. And, you know, obviously ControlUp will keep on adding value on top of these solutions. I think one thing that we've probably seen over the last few years is how the role and the power almost of the end user has become even more important. This is not just because, the changes that happened throughout the COVID period, but it's also because a new generation is coming into the workplace, and it's different, right? They have different expectations. They want a different way of working. So the role of the employee and putting the employee in the center, you see that as something that comes up more and more. And I expect to see some stories around that during the keynotes, and we're right on top of that. The employee putting that central in the conversation.
Well, it's been great hearing about all your technologies and kind of getting a feel for your product set. But maybe we could get a quick demo so that people at home can take a look at the product firsthand.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me show you some of our technologies. All right. So I logged in here into what we call the DEX management platform. So this is our web-based interface. Now, some people who might be watching this video, who already use ControlUp products might think like, hey, this looks slightly different than what I'm used to. So this is a new platform that is basically available as of now, or as of in a few weeks. We already have a few customers, but this is really going to be enabling ControlUp, this new platform, to kind of like bring in additional technologies in basically the years to come. And what you basically see here, this is the kind of like the last screen I was on. So this is our physical endpoint monitoring. So we get to see all the machines across the world. Fairly small environment. This is our internal demo environment with only 38 machines. But again, right, you can get this high-level view of your environment. You can get like high-level insights on, this is just for the year. So about, your application health, about your network health, about the devices health. So this is really kind of like the high-level kind of snapshot of, in this case, your physical desktops. Now, from here, I can, of course, drill down into individual machines, right? So if, you kind of like start at this high-level dashboard, I can kind of like drill down and find the machine. I can like quickly see that. Or if a user calls, I can just go into the dashboard and find this. And then from there, I can just drill down further, get information that is relevant to me for my troubleshooting. And again, if I go drill down even deeper, from here, I can just wait until that is loaded. You can see that in this case, I only have a few. So we do have role-based administration, but these are some of the scripts that are included. You can bring your own, but again, very focused on solving the day-to-day issues that users might have. Unified communications, I talked about this a little bit earlier. So as I indicated, there is Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Zoom support. Now, one big differentiator is you get a lot of data from the vendors themselves, right? You get dashboards and things like that. Very often, that data is after the call, right? If a user is on a call and they have an issue right now, you can't really see what's going on. Of course, you can do remote control. We have remote control functionality in our product as well. But what we have is what we call the live callers dashboard. And as you can see, there's actually 4 calls, and these are all Teams calls going on as we speak. So this is actual minute-by-minute data about the performance, so the performance of the screen sharing, relevant network metrics like jitter and packet loss. So I can quickly see, hey, are there any users with issues? I can then go to the device, run the scripts that are needed, and quickly resolve the issues. And then there's our VDI monitoring. So our VDI monitoring, as I said, is our richest solution because it has been around for the longest. And if I go into details, you can see I actually have it already set to point to my Horizon environment. But if you would be using something else, you can also add other environments. But in this case, if I go to Horizon, I get to see my desktop pools, my farms, I can drill down all the way from the top. You can see here the data center, the clusters, the data stores, all the VMware kind of like underlying technology to the machine, all the way to the user session. And again, from here, I can quickly drill down. I can, if I want to, let me just go back. I can, again, either right click and, pick one of the scripts to remediate. Now, in this case, I do it at the highest level, so I get all the scripts. But if I'm looking at a certain metric, it will kind of like filter it down the relevant scripts that are there for you to fix problems. One thing that is not released yet, but that is something that we're working on. It kind of goes back to what we're trying to do, right? We were trying to solve problems, but solving problems is great. But if you can't explain what it actually, gave back to the organization, then did you really buy a solution? So this cost savings dashboard is really looking at all these automations and all these remediations you've done through the product in your particular environment. And that includes both VDI as well as your physical endpoints. It even includes the remote assistance, right? So if I do a remote control session, and it basically makes a calculation of the amount of dollars saved around solving issues and IT tickets. So this is really something that we give to our customers to help them understand what value they're really getting out of the ControlUp solution. Like I said, this is not available in the product yet. You're the first ones to hear about that, and the people that are watching the video. We have a bunch of other things going on, so definitely come check out our booth to get all the details and all the nitty-gritty.
Well, thanks for that great demo. Really looking forward to seeing you guys at the show. For people that can't attend the show, where can they go if they want to find out more information about ControlUp?
Yeah, so the easiest place is to go to controlup.com. We have a dedicated VMware solutions page. So for those people who are particularly looking for our integration points, and we have other content available as well. The easiest way is just to go to our VMware solutions page. But yeah, you'll find a lot more. There's also the ControlUp community, and I'm doing this from the top of my head. ControlUpcommunity.com, I think, is the website where you can sign up. But those are probably your two best resources to learn more. And for those people who are coming to the show, I'll be there as well. We have a lot of things going on at the show, outside the show. We have all that information actually available on VMblog.com, I believe. So definitely check out that post where you can find a lot more about our presence in Las Vegas.
Great. Well, it was a pleasure speaking with you, and we look forward to seeing you at the show.
Same to you. Looking forward. Bye.